If you're new here, thanks for joining me. Don't mind my iced coffee that I'm drinking. My name's Alexis. I'm a registered nurse in Houston, Texas. I used to be a LVN, and before that I was a tech. In today's video, I want to talk about some NCLEX tips and tricks and different things I did to pass the NCLEX, because I see a lot of students in my comments saying, you know, I'm in this semester in nursing school, I'm in that semester. And, you know, I kind of touched on like study topics already for like regular tests, but NCLEX is a totally different like ball game. And, you know, there's tons of videos on YouTube about, you know, everyone else's journey, what they did with NCLEX or different NCLEX prep. But I'm going to just go over mine just because you may pick up something different. You never know. It could work for someone. So, and like I said, I passed NCLEX with my LVN, and then I passed it for my RN as well. So I took the NCLEX twice. Of course, they're obviously different tests. One is for LVN, licensed practical nurse, or licensed vocational nurse. One is for your RN, but it still was like same format, same everything. You could get the 200 and something questions if you wanted to, and different things like that. So I'll touch on that. Girl, let me stay hydrated. Sorry, but I need an afternoon pick-me-up. So if you don't like drinking and videos, sorry. But anyway, so studying for NCLEX, like I said, there's a lot of different things you can do to study. What I would start out with once you pass, well, you can kind of touch on this in nursing school. Your school or your curriculum should set you up. They should be preparing you to take NCLEX this whole entire time. So it will be talked about in your program, like we're doing this and that for NCLEX Prep. This assignment is for NCLEX Prep. Like in our in school, we had these dreaded assignments called PassPoint. I don't know if you ever heard of PassPoint, but it was a system where it would generate NCLEX questions and you would have to reach a mastery level for each section or whatever. So it could be either like 50 questions, 150, or the whole practice NCLEX where it was like 200 or something questions. So, and we would do that, and whatever mastery level we would get an A or B, C, whatever it was. So doing those questions really helped prepare me for the NCLEX, because they were NCLEX style questions. So that was ingrained in me my complete RN school time, which was like a year of that part. That's not including the prereqs or whatnot. But it really got intensive that last semester. We had to do more of those and more of the bigger 200 and something questions. So it was really like we were taking the NCLEX. I remember having a nervous breakdown one weekend. It was super busy because I had like clinicals too. We were doing 12-hour clinicals, and I remember doing a 12-hour clinical the day before. So this was like Sunday, and I came back to do all my assignments, and it turned off in like the middle of it. I feel like I was on question like 150, 160 something, and my computer crashed. Literally, I started crying, having a nervous breakdown. I was like, I cannot start over. I will not start over. I emailed all my teachers. They were like, you're gonna have to start over. But somehow I found it, like it turned back on, and it took me to where I left off. I didn't ask any questions. I just kept going. So child, that was too much stress, but that really did prepare me. So whatever resources your curriculum, your school, your instructors have, use those resources while you're in school, because that will help out a lot. Also, while you're in school and while you're learning, kind of start to recognize your weak areas. Like if your weak areas are ABGs, dosage calculations, or like the select all and apply, the priority questions, then that's what you need to concentrate on more with studying. Like you don't need to be going over the same questions over and over that you get right. You need to focus on what you're getting wrong. Some people, it could be they just cannot get lab values down. They can't get ABGs down. They can't get the EKG readings down. That's what you need to focus on. Whatever you're getting wrong that you note, and every time you're practicing for the NCLEX, that's what you need to be making a list and going back to. Never neglect the other stuff, but you don't need to waste as much time on other stuff that you have down. You need to focus on that stuff that you don't have down. Another thing, when you're making your study plan, it's good. You can have study groups and whatnot like that. It's good. Again, I would not get into huge groups, more than like 4. That's really cutting it, because To me, more than that, it's just too much. You start to get too many opinions. It's just the flow doesn't work as well. 4 would really be it for me. Like, no, but you can do whatever you want, but that's just my pro tip. Another thing I would say is whatever NCLEX book you get, I got the Saunders. I'll put it up here. They always make those. It comes with like a disc or a code. It's a code now. It used to be a disc, but it's a code now where you can like unlock all the online features, and it's like through Elsevier. I'll put that information right here. I can never pronounce that. But anyways, you log on and it has NCLEX test prep questions, and it'll be like practice quizzes, practice tests, all of those things. And you can just do like 100 questions at this, 50 questions here, 25. You can set it to however many questions you want. That's literally all I did. I would just do those questions. Whatever I got wrong, I would look at the rationale. Sometimes what I got right too, like if I guessed or something like that. Always look at the rationales for the questions. That's another tip. Whatever you get wrong, look why you got it wrong. If you guessed, look why they marked that correct as well. Especially to those like priority or select all that apply. I love to look at the rationales, especially for the priority questions, because those priority questions, they're not always like real world what you would pick. It's what they think would come first, because in the real world you can probably do 2 things at a time. Like you're like, okay, I'm gonna go hook up this oxygen, take this person to the bathroom, then do this, like, but no, you have to think, what do they want? You can't be thinking about the real world yet. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it, just let that go. So always look at the rationales, and that's a good source. That Saunders book where you could get the code and do the practice questions online, like on your computer, and do the practice quizzes and look at the rationales, all of that, literally that's what I did. Majority of the time, that's what I did. LVN, I remember doing, it was similar. It was like ATI test prep. It's the same thing as like PassPoint or going online and looking at your book and like doing the access code. It's basically doing practice questions over and over again. Whatever guide you use, just make sure you're doing NCLEX practice questions just over and over. That's the only way like you're gonna get used to the style of them doing those questions. Like literally questions that I would see from the book was on the test. So that's exactly what I do. Just do it over and over and over again. You will get it for sure. And then keep studying your baseline stuff. Know all your lab values. Know how to do your dosage calculations. Know your EKG strips. You know, all that baseline stuff. Know your pharmacology. Brush up on that, but you need to be doing practice questions every day. And you know, some people do NCLEX when they take it, like after they graduate at different timelines. I was doing it within a month of graduating. I remember LVN, I did it, like I graduated August, middle of August. I was taking the test by the end of September. And RN, I graduated middle of December. I was taking the test by the end of January. Like I plays no games. Those people that like to wait several months, that is true. I feel like you need to do it while it's fresh on your mind. All the school, just get it out the way. It'll be better for your nerves too. I don't know how people waited like 3 months. To each his own, but it couldn't be me. I took like that month off. You know, I wasn't in any other school or anything. I still stayed work part-time, and the other time I was studying like every day that I have off. Doing those practice questions, anything I could do. So that would be my tip. Take the test within a month to 6 weeks of graduating. That's when you need to take the test. Go ahead and do it. Also, your school too will organize like a review day or a couple of days, 3 days. It just depends on what your program is. Always ask that too. Like, what's our NCLEX review gonna be like? It's gonna be different everywhere you go, but obviously I would participate in whatever your school is giving you for free. LVN, I think it really helped me. I remember being there for like 3 days or a week. Oh, it kind of was hell, but I remember it like helped. RN, I think it was only a day, and I was like, this is it. They could have kept that, but still go, because you know your program could be like different or whatnot. So Also, another good thing about YouTube is resources. If I didn't feel like I knew something from my teachers or like I needed a review of something, I went to this one girl's page. What is she called? Like registered nurse. I don't know. She has like 1.5 million subscribers. I'll put her name right here, and I'll link a video or something in the description box. Literally, this woman is like an instructor. I don't know her credentials. I know she's a registered nurse, but I don't know if she like went on into teaching, but she's a good teacher. Her videos are so good and descriptive and the right information. Those got me through nursing school. They got me through NCLEX Prep. She does so much. So if you're having problems with like dosage calculations, because I saw a comment that someone said that, if you're having problems with ABGs, I mean, literally, she has a video on everything. Cardiac, she got me through cardiac, girl, because I'm not a cardiac girl. She has her mother baby section. Literally, any subject in nursing school, she has it on her channel. And I guarantee you, it is worth the watch. Very much so. So again, I'll link it. I'll put her name right here too, but like link her videos. I highly would suggest it. But you know, there's a lot of like NCLEX and the nursing school tips on YouTube, online. That's what I use too. Like if I thought I wasn't getting something from school or if I needed something, I just did a Google search and find some more research. There are so many resources on Amazon too, like NCLEX Guide, NCLEX Test Prep, like extra tools. If you feel like, I think a good, you know, enough for people is either the review your school gives you, whatever NCLEX Prep book, getting it online to format those NCLEX questions. Like I just feel like it's easier on the computer than just like reading it and keep going. But I think that's enough. But some people need more. So always look for more resources. Amazon has a ton of different books and guides. There's different apps on your phone. Again, YouTube, like that lady's videos, chef's kiss, like they're so good. And if you're still having, like you feel like that's not enough, reach out to your classmates or your little study group, see what's going on there. And the best way in a study group I found to study was, again, asking questions from that Saunders book, or, you know, doing flashcards, whatever, concentrating on, like, let's say you do flashcards, and I always separate it, the ones I get right and the ones I get wrong. The ones I get wrong, we're going over it, and each time I get it right, I put it on the right pile, and then I keep concentrating on whatever is wrong. So that worked for me. I don't know if that'll work for you, but whatever is wrong, I keep going back to it. Whatever is right, I put it to the side. I don't need to be having that in my deck anymore. Another thing that I would say helps me a lot to, I had to stop because someone came to my door, but I was talking about study groups and study tips and things like that. Another thing that I would say would work for me for memorization is little acronyms. Some of the acronyms I would only know. Some of the acronyms, you know, will be like a popular one, like the one for cranial nerves is like O to touch and feel a girl's vagina, oh so heavenly. Which is like our teachers taught us that, so that is like still ingrained in my brain, and I learned that in like 2016. So, but different acronyms I would make up for different things for myself, and that really worked for me. Like I can't even, like the flow of the heart, like I would put it like the same thing. I'll be like T, whatever the letter was, I would just like make up a word and it would like flow of the heart for whatever. I would just have to shorten things. I can't really explain it. It's hard to explain without physically like writing it and showing it. But different acronyms always like worked for me. And that could be another thing that could work too. You could look that up. There's plenty of videos on like different acronyms to learn things, but if that's too much for you, don't go that route. Acronyms worked for me, but some other people it maybe not work with. Also, going back to like dosage calculation, just to get off of that, because that's sticking in my head because someone asked for dosage calculation tips. I don't really have many others besides, you know, repetition. Math has just always been like a sore subject for me, but I did fine with dosage calculations. But that is something you need to nail down because you will, at some jobs, they will test you on that. Like, that's part of the onboarding, is a dosage calculation quiz. And then, you know, I use several dosage calculations with the chemotherapy. We have different formulas, you know, with giving blood, you got to figure out different things like that, and, you know, the chemotherapies. But at my med-surg job, I really didn't use like dosage calculation a lot, but it still comes up. So you need to have that basic dosage calculation down. And you know, some jobs do require it, like an onboarding test. So that's something to think about. They'll give you like study material and let you study and stuff like that, but you know, whatever. That's just something good to know. Anyways, getting back into NCLEX, I think that's all like my study kind of tips. I really was like low maintenance. I did the review at school. I did the Saunders book. I checked out old girl's video. I just did questions over and over again. And, you know, it worked for me. I passed both times. I didn't have to do the 200 something questions. I feel like it cut off around 90 something for both. I don't remember doing like, maybe one was like 100 and something, but I don't remember doing like that many. Like the full, like when people say they get like 200 something questions, I'm like, oh my God, my brain just shuts off after like 100 and something. Honest truth, that's too much. But again, it did make me nervous, because you hear things like, if it shuts off at like 70 something or 80 something, you fail, blah, 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 blah. I'm just like, oh, child. But anyways, going back into what I did, you know, in preparation, like the night before, the week before, whatever. So I lived in a place where I had to drive like 2 hours to get to a testing site. So obviously I just made hotel accommodations. I made a little, like me and my nurse bestie, each one. This is LVN, I had a nurse bestie, RN, I had a nurse bestie, and we lived in the same area. So we like carpooled. We went to somewhere the afternoon before, you know, we just grabbed dinner, we relaxed. We did a little bit of study, not much, maybe like an hour, you know, before, once we wind it down. I got my little melatonin. You know, another good thing too, if you're not familiar with the area, like you don't live where you go, we went and found the testing center that morning, and then the day before, and then went to our hotel. So in the morning, we like knew where it was, we knew the entrance, we wouldn't get lost, because child, if I don't make it just because of that, I would have been so mad. So that's something to think about, like, as well. Find your testing site, know where it's at before your test. If you have to go out of town, get you a hotel, get there the night before. Don't do that morning driving stuff. You never know what could happen, especially if it's like more than like, you know, if it's out of town, you need to get there the day before. And that night before, do relaxing stuff. No alcohol. If you need to take something for anxiety or sleep, I suggest taking it so you get a good night's sleep. Have a calming bath, relax. You can study a little bit, but I would not study like right before going to bed. Like study, then like watch a funny show, watch something to kind of calm your nerves, calm down, take a bath. Like I said, I love baths and candles. And just kind of relax. Take that time, meditate if you need to, do some energy cleansing. I'm into all that. Let's not even go there. But then the morning before, wake up really good, like bright and early. You know, if you need to exercise before, you can do that. Make sure you have time to get you a little bit of breakfast. I needed like a little bit of coffee. Like you see, I'm drinking my afternoon coffee, so I obviously am an avid coffee drinker, but I did not want the full caffeine because I was like, my nerves get bad. So I just did a couple of sips of coffee, not the full big thing. But you can do whatever you need. If that's, you run on energy drinks, if that's gonna pump you up, do whatever you need to do. I did a little piece of dark chocolate. They say it helps something with the mind. I've been doing that. If you pray, do whatever you need to do to be calm before the test. That way, when you go to the test, be prepared, know what all information you need to bring or anything you need to bring. Already have looked that up before you go. You know, they do provide like the headphones and things like that, because I put the headphones on even though like I don't need noise or anything. They have like the noise canceling ones, because when people move and shift and all that, because you're in a room, both of the times we're in a room with like multiple people taking the test. It's just you have your own little cubicle with the monitor. So they have those headphones. I just put those on right away because any kind of noise, people moving, which it really is quiet, though it does distract me when people like get up, and it's something about my nerves. So make sure you have those noise canceling headphones, if that accommodates. If they I don't think they let you bring your own. You have to ask them. I'm pretty sure they don't, but they have those. Anything you don't want with you in the building, leave in the trunk of your car, not the back of your car, the trunk, and lock your stuff up. They do give you lockers to lock anything up that you bring. But whatever rules, they'll email you, and just make sure you look at the rules like before you go. But yes, that's my little tips. Studying, again, I was like pretty low maintenance. Like I said, I used the book, hooked it up online, did the practice quizzes online, like for a month straight. And then, you know, I utilized any of my resources in school. I kept my school study material and used that. I listened to old girls' videos if I had anything else while it was like outside of school. I used my nurse buddy that I had. And I did all that relaxing stuff. I made sure I got there before. I relaxed the day before, but I did not drink. Don't be getting drunk the day before the NCLEX because you work too hard to like mess that up. So anything else y'all want to see, leave in the comments below. If anything else worked for you or anything that you've heard, you can leave that in the comments so someone can see it. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. Thank you. Have a good day.